Okay, so we've all seen it, right? The shock and awe of generative AI. All the magic tricks, those chatbots that went viral. But, the hype is starting to fade, and now the real work begins. So the big question is, how do we get from those cool magic tricks to, actual measurable impact? That's what we're going to dive into today.
And this right here, this is the big promise, isn't it? We're not just talking about another tool or a fancier dashboard. No, this is about a fundamental shift. It's about AI becoming a real partner in what we do every day. Imagine a world where all those crucial insights aren't locked away in some spreadsheet, where speed is a real strategic advantage for everyone on the team. I mean, it's a really powerful vision.
But what happens when that hype train leaves the station? Because, let's be honest, for a lot of organizations, that grand vision, it feels a million miles away. They're just stuck in that frustrating gap between a really cool demo and a process that actually, works and generates real-world value.
And this feeling, it's a mix of excitement and just exhaustion. If you've ever worked in innovation, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The source material we're looking at has this perfect name for it: pilot paralysis. It's that feeling of knowing, deep down, that AI is the future, but at the same time, you're just completely wiped out by the sheer challenge of getting it deployed and actually proving it's worth the investment.
So, okay, what's really causing this pilot paralysis? Well, when you peel back the layers, the core problem is this. Your organization's most valuable asset, its collective intelligence, its brain, is trapped. It's totally scattered, it's fragmented, it's locked away in dozens of different systems.
And this visual just nails it, doesn't it? Look at the left side. That's the reality for most companies. It's chaos. You've got critical data living in Google Drive, in Slack, in Jira, over in ServiceNow. It's this tangled mess that makes decision-making painfully slow and always reactive. Now look at the right. That's the goal. A single, unified intelligence layer where everything is connected, you can ask it anything, and it helps you be proactive.
So let's be super clear about what we mean by an intelligence layer. This is not just another tool to add to the pile. Think of it more like a foundational platform that sits on top of all your existing systems. It connects them, unifies them, and creates a single, secure source of truth. And here's the kicker. Anyone can use it, not just data scientists. You can just talk to it, ask it questions in plain English.
Okay, so going from that tangled mess to this beautiful unified layer, that seems like a massive leap, right? But the reason most companies get stuck, the reason they're paralyzed, it's probably not what you're thinking. It actually comes down to three very specific and often hidden barriers. See, here's the thing. It's not the technology that's holding you back. The AI models are powerful, they're ready to go. The real obstacles are, well, they're more human. They're organizational. The article we're drawing from calls them the unholy trinity of gaps that just completely stall progress. These are the secret reasons so many AI projects just never get off the ground. And here they are. And notice, these aren't technical problems. They're questions of strategy, process, and people. So you've got number one, the value gap. That's the what for question. Number two, the execution gap, the how question. And number three, the champion gap, the all-important who question. Let's break each of these down.
All right, first up, the value gap. Honestly, this is just a failure of imagination. You get leaders who see this incredible technology, but they just can't connect it to a real, specific business problem. So what happens? They make the classic mistake of trying to just sprinkle a little AI on everything, hoping something magical happens. The fix? You've got to stop thinking about doing AI and start thinking about solving specific points of friction. Don't just go out and buy some AI. Use it to solve a real-world bottleneck that's slowing you down. Okay. Barrier number two is the execution gap. And this is where the cold, hard reality of engineering comes and crashes the party. Look, typing a prompt into a cool chat window is not the same as building an enterprise application. It's just not. You have to deal with messy data, security, compliance, all those complex integrations. So the bottom line is this, and it's a great analogy. You cannot build a Ferrari on a dirt road. It just won't work. You absolutely have to secure your data and your cloud foundation before you even think about scaling. And then there's the final barrier. I like to call this one the silent killer, the champion gap. You've seen this play out, I'm sure. The CEO says, we need AI. The CTO is slammed with a million other things. The CMO doesn't really get the tech, and the result? Crickets. Nothing happens. Because implementing AI isn't a tech project, it's a change management challenge. You absolutely need a dedicated champion. One person who owns this thing, who can bridge that huge gap between what the tech can do and what the business actually needs.
All right, so we've laid out the problems, the big barriers that get everyone stuck. Now for the fun part. Let's talk about the payoff. What actually happens when you break through those barriers and put a real intelligence layer in place?
Let me tell you, the impact isn't some abstract thing you'll see in a few years. It's immediate, it's measurable, and it happens right across the entire organization. Let's get into some real concrete examples. First off, you accelerate insight like crazy. So, picture a threat analyst. Instead of waiting days for some report to be generated, they can just ask, right in plain English, show me all active ransomware campaigns targeting financial institutions in Europe. And boom, they get an answer right away. This totally changes the game for decision-making. It makes that kind of high-level intelligence available to everyone on the team, not just the specialists. Second, you get to automate those really high-stakes, super complex workflows. And let's be clear, this isn't about replacing people. It's about freeing up your experts from these soul-crushing, tedious, error-prone tasks. Think about an insurance adjuster who can now spend their day on the truly complex cases instead of manually reading thousands of forms. That's the goal. It's about getting speed and accuracy exactly where it matters the most. And third, and this is maybe the coolest part, you get to enhance human expertise. An AI can become a personal tutor for a new hire, getting them up to speed in record time. It can be a creative partner for a writer, brainstorming ideas, a tireless research assistant for a scientist. It's a genuine force multiplier for your talent. It makes your best people even better. And this is where you really see the bigger picture. See, you might start by solving one specific problem for, say, the cybersecurity team. But the real power of an intelligence layer is that it's a universal platform. The value just naturally spreads, from cyber to finance to marketing and beyond. It starts connecting the entire organization in a new way. I mean, just look at the sheer breadth of this. We're talking predictive maintenance in a factory, we're talking clinical documentation in a hospital, demand forecasting for an e-commerce site, all these different industries, all these different problems, and the same foundational layer can power dozens, maybe even hundreds of these high-impact use cases. The versatility is just, it's incredible. So this all brings us right back to where we started, this idea of the era of intelligent work. And the key thing to realize is that this isn't some distant sci-fi future. The tools, the strategies, they're here, right now. So the question becomes, how do you actually get started? Well, it really boils down to three key pillars. First, you unify your knowledge. You connect to the systems you're already using, your Slack, your Drive, your Jira. Second, you empower your teams. You give them no-code tools so that everyone can build these AI-powered workflows, not just the engineers. And third, and this is absolutely crucial, you have to be able to trust your data. This means building on a secure, private infrastructure where you know your proprietary data is safe and is never, ever used to train some public model.
So when it all comes down to it, the crucial point is this. The technology is not the bottleneck anymore. It's ready. The capability is there. The real question has completely shifted. It's no longer, can we do this? It's, are we, as an organization, ready to do this?
I just love this question. It's so powerful. It just cuts through all the noise, all the 5-year plans, and the endless strategy meetings. And it asks a very simple, very urgent question about taking action. What if we tried this tomorrow? What's one small, specific point of friction you could solve right now?
And ultimately, that is the key takeaway here. The future isn't about buying more software. It's not about adding more dashboards to the pile. It's about a fundamental shift to a much smarter way of working. And you do that by finally unlocking and activating the incredible collective intelligence that you already have.